Right now, millions of people are living a lie. They've been sold a dream that's actually a nightmare in disguise. If you're feeling lost, anxious, or like something's missing despite having everything you thought you wanted, this message is for you. What I'm about to share isn't feel-good nonsense or empty motivation. These are ancient truths that have guided humanity's greatest minds for over 2,000 years. They're uncomfortable, challenging, and will probably make you question everything you believe about success, happiness, and what it means to live well. But here's the thing. Discomfort is exactly where transformation begins. Number 1, your safety net is actually a trap. We've been programmed to seek safety above all else. Safe job, safe relationship, safe routine. But here's what nobody tells you. That safety you're clinging to is slowly strangling your potential. Think about the last time you felt truly alive. I bet it wasn't during your morning commute or while watching Netflix for the 3rd hour straight. It was probably when you were scared, challenged, or doing something that pushed your limits. Your brain is wired to keep you alive, not to help you thrive. It will always choose the familiar path, even if that path leads nowhere. Every day you choose comfort over growth, you're choosing a smaller version of yourself. I know someone who worked the same job for 15 years. Good salary, decent benefits, but every Sunday night, he felt sick to his stomach thinking about Monday morning. One day, his company downsized and he lost that safe job. It was the best thing that ever happened to him. Within 2 years, he'd started his own business and was happier than he'd been in decades. The comfort zone feels like protection, but it's actually a prison. The key to your cell is in your hand. You just have to be brave enough to use it. Start small. Take a different route to work. Speak to that stranger. Apply for that job you think you're not qualified for. Each small act of courage builds the muscle you need for bigger leaps. Number 2, your expectations are destroying your peace. Here's a painful question. How much of your unhappiness comes from things not going the way you planned? We live our lives with a script in our heads. We expect our friends to behave a certain way. We expect our careers to follow a timeline. We expect people to appreciate our efforts. When reality doesn't match our script, we suffer. But here's the liberating truth. The universe doesn't owe you anything. Not success, not love, not even basic fairness. Once you truly accept this, something magical happens. You stop being disappointed and start being grateful. A friend of mine spent years bitter about not getting promoted. He worked harder than anyone, stayed late, did everything right. But the promotion went to someone else. He was miserable until he realized something. His worth wasn't determined by his boss's decision. His happiness wasn't dependent on external validation. When he let go of expecting recognition, he found peace. Ironically, 6 months later, he got an even better job offer from another company. The Stoics had a beautiful concept. Prefer nothing. This doesn't mean you stop trying or caring. It means you do your best and accept whatever outcome follows. You control your effort, not the results. Try this. For 1 week, catch yourself every time you think, "This should happen," or "They should do this." Notice how often your stress comes from unmet expectations. not actual problems. Number 3, people will leave, and that's beautiful. This one hurts, but it's necessary. That friend you can't imagine life without, that relationship you think will last forever, they might not. And that's not a tragedy. It's the natural flow of life. We put enormous pressure on relationships to be permanent. We feel guilty when friendships fade and devastated when people change. But here's what I've learned. Relationships have seasons, just like everything else. Some people are meant to be in your life for a chapter, not the whole book. That college roommate who was your best friend might barely speak to you now, and that's okay. You both grew, evolved, and found different paths. It doesn't make the friendship less meaningful. It makes it complete. I used to fight this reality. I'd force connections that had naturally run their course, trying to recreate something that had already served its purpose. It was exhausting and painful. The most freeing realization of my life was this: I am whole on my own. People add richness to my experience, but they don't complete me. When I stopped clinging to relationships out of fear of being alone, I started attracting connections based on genuine compatibility and mutual growth. Value the people in your life today. Love them fully while they're here, but hold them lightly, knowing that change is the only constant. Some will stay, some will go, and new people will arrive who are perfect for who you're becoming. Number 4, everything great requires something painful. Success isn't about finding the easy path. It's about choosing your hard. You can have the hard of discipline or the hard of regret, the hard of sacrifice or the hard of disappointment, the hard of growth or the hard of stagnation. You're going to face difficulty either way, so you might as well choose the difficulty that leads somewhere meaningful. Every person you admire has paid a price you don't see. The entrepreneur worked weekends while their friends partied. The athlete trained when their body screamed to stop. The artist created when they felt like giving up. But here's what most people miss. Sacrifice isn't really giving something up. It's trading something good for something better. When you sacrifice immediate pleasure for long-term growth, you're not losing. You're investing. I know a woman who wanted to start her own business. For 2 years, she worked her regular job during the day and built her company at night. She missed social events, skipped TV shows, and said no to countless distractions. Her friends thought she was crazy. Today, she owns a thriving business and has the freedom to work from anywhere. The sacrifice felt heavy at the time, but now it feels like the best investment she ever made. Ask yourself, what are you willing to give up to get what you really want? Because if you're not willing to sacrifice anything, you're not willing to change anything. Number 5, control what you can, release everything else. Most of your stress, anxiety, and frustration comes from trying to control things that are completely outside your influence. You can't control what other people think about you. You can't control the economy, the weather, or whether you get stuck in traffic. You can't control whether someone loves you back or whether your boss recognizes your work. But you can control how you respond to all of these things. And that response is where your real power lies. The Stoics taught a simple but profound practice. In every situation, ask yourself, what part of this is up to me? Then focus all your energy on that part and let go of the rest. Worried about a job interview? You can't control whether you get the job, but you can control how well you prepare. Stressed about a relationship? You can't control how the other person feels, but you can control how honestly and kindly you communicate. This isn't about becoming passive or not caring. It's about channeling your energy where it can actually make a difference. I used to lie awake at night, worrying about things that might happen, most of which never did. Now, when I catch my mind spinning about uncontrollables, I ask myself, is this worry helping me? Number 6. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. We live in a world that worships motivation and inspiration. But here's the truth motivational speakers won't tell you. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the weather. Discipline, on the other hand, is the steady force that creates real change. It's what you do when you don't feel like doing it. It's the choice you make when no one is watching and there's no immediate reward. The gap between who you are and who you want to become is filled with disciplined actions. Small, consistent choices that compound over time into extraordinary results. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. You need to make 1% improvements consistently. Read for 15 minutes instead of scrolling social media. Do 10 push-ups instead of hitting snooze. Choose water instead of soda. These tiny choices seem insignificant in the moment, but they're actually votes for the kind of person you want to become. Every disciplined action is proof to yourself that you can be trusted to follow through. I started exercising consistently, not by joining a gym and committing to hour-long workouts, but by doing 5 push-ups every morning. It was so easy, I couldn't make an excuse not to do it. After a month, 5 became 10, then 15. Now I work out 6 days a week, but it all started with 5 push-ups. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. It's not about never falling down. It's about always getting back up. Number 7. This moment is all you really have. Here's the ultimate truth that changes everything. You are going to die. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe in 50 years, but definitely someday. And that day comes. All your worries about what people think, all your postponed dreams, all your someday I'll plans won't matter. This isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. Death is the great teacher that shows us what's truly important. It strips away the trivial and reveals the essential. If you knew you had 1 year left, would you spend it worried about your social media image? Would you stay in that job you hate? Would you hold grudges against people who hurt you years ago? The awareness of death isn't morbid. It's liberating. It frees you from the prison of other people's opinions. It gives you permission to take risks, to love deeply, to live boldly. Every morning when you wake up, you have a choice. You can sleepwalk through another day, or you can live it fully. You can worry about imaginary futures, or you can engage with the present moment. Right now, as you're reading this, you're alive. Your heart is beating. Your mind is working. You have opportunities and possibilities that billions of people throughout history would have given anything for. Don't waste this gift waiting for permission, for the perfect moment, or for fear to disappear. The perfect moment is now. Permission comes from within. And courage isn't the absence of fear. It's action in spite of fear. These 7 truths aren't easy to accept, but they're necessary to embrace if you want to live a life of meaning rather than just existence. They've been tested by centuries of human experience and proven by countless individuals who chose growth over comfort, truth over illusion. The question isn't whether these truths are correct. They are. The question is what you're going to do with them. Your life is waiting. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect. Right now. If these words resonated with you, don't let this moment pass without action. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it. Take one small step toward the life you actually want to live. Choose courage over comfort, truth over illusion, growth over stagnation. The time for half living is over. Your extraordinary life begins the moment you decide it does.